Welcome everyone to another session of Crituitous RP. Very glad to have you all in for tonight's special session. Today's session will portray portions of Artir's backstory. Now, Artir is one of the characters from our main campaign, and we, as a rule with our group, we decided that whenever we're down too many players in order to play the normal story, we will explore a moment in each of the characters' backstories and learn a little bit more about the people that are in this group of heroes. So today's session will take place in Artir's homeland. It is the nation of Tethir. It's a kingdom located far to the south of the Sword Coast. It's between the land of Am to the north and Kalimshan to the south. The nation of Tethir is known for its many quality tradespeople, with large forests occupying a large portion of the territory. Lots of woodwork, furniture, chests, a lot of material goods in that regard are created unique to within Tethir. The nation is typically organized in a feudal fashion. Land tends to be the measure of status within this area. A mostly arid climate characterizes the land beyond the Great Forest of Tethir, which has led its many settlers to occupy the land along the rivers, and very well-established trade routes travel from city to city. People don't tend to venture off these roads because it's difficult to just live off the beaten path. One of the largest cities in this area is a huge port city named Zazaspur. Zazaspur was once the capital of Tethir, and it continues to be a city of wealth and culture. It is ruled by a council of lords, one of which would become Artir's father. His name is Riano Argentifero. Artir's mother, a Yuan Ti pureblood named Silda, who, yes, she's a Yuan Ti pureblood, but she looks completely human. She can easily hide any sort of evidence of her Yuan Ti heritage. She charmed her way into being married to this nobleman. Soon after the union, they produced a child, which was Artir. As soon as the heir was created, Silda arranged for Riano's death, leaving her with his wealth, power, and all of his status. These would eventually, or should eventually, be passed on to Artir whenever he came to the right age. However, Silda had no intention of letting that come to pass. Throughout Artir's childhood, he received a Yuan Ti education where he was taught repeatedly about his superiority among all the other races and why Yuan Tis are better than everyone else. He learned how to excel at deceiving these other races for his own needs and his own ends. While he was still a child, Silda conscripted him into a grand scheme that would help grow the family's wealth and influence. She had learned of a tribe of native Tethirians living in the foothills of the Star Spire Mountains. These Tethirian tribesmen, they worshipped a great serpent spirit. So what is a serpent-like group of individuals going to do? Silda sends Artir into this tribe to try and pass him off as the physical embodiment of this great spirit. If accepted by the tribe, Artir would then be able to use information that Silda fed to Artir in order to guide and direct and help this tribe, eventually manipulating these tribesmen to serve Silda's needs. The scheme was executed as planned and perfectly. Silda's wealth and power grew within Zazaspur, as did the tribe of the serpents. Wealth and influence grew outside of the city. As they seemed, the the tribe began to grow and develop as they seemed to somehow have knowledge of exactly where they needed to strike in order to get the best hoard for their time. At the time of tonight's session, this arrangement has been going on for 10 years. Artir was 12 when he first started, when he first came to the tribe, and was living there with the tribe's chief, a man named Otsin Koba. During the time, these 10 years, Artir has repeatedly been visited by his mother, and Silda would regularly give him the information that's needed. Artir would then pass this information on to the tribesmen, and they would do with it what they will. And each time this arrangement benefited the city more, it built up the trust in young Artir. Now, Otsin was a wise and beloved leader. He always made decisions in the interest of the tribe, ensuring that even the weakest members are looked after. While he welcomed Artir into his home, because the great serpent spirit should always be welcome in our homes, he did not treat the boy as his family. He saw Artir as the embodiment of the great serpent spirit, and therefore considered being familiar with the child as profane. Otsin instructed his sons, who are Quetzalton, Nochtli, and Mekama. He instructed them to also do the same thing and to show respect to the great serpent spirit at all times. But obviously, as children are wont to do, whenever they are not in their father's presence, they treat him like a brother. Quetzalton is the oldest of the three. He is bright and responsible with a mind for tactics, and he is played tonight by our very own Casey, right?
Yeah, that's my name.
Yes,
That's
cool.
correct.
Just double checking that you. Yeah.
I'm still
so
Casey.
Casey will be playing Quetzalton. I didn't forget your name. I forgot which character you were running.
He almost said Loic. That's fine.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm sorry.
So Casey will be playing the eldest son of the three. As I said, he's bright, responsible, and very tactically minded. Ty, our usually Eren, he will be playing Nochtli. He is the middle child. He takes very little seriously, aside from combat, obviously, which he throws himself into recklessly and tries to distinguish himself in combat above all else. There is the third child, Mekama, who will not be ran by anyone in particular today. He's the youngest, who is typically, as the youngest of any group of boys, he's the prankster and enjoys in upsetting Nochtli above all else. And then joining those young men, we have young Artir. Now, this is a couple years prior to Artir being in the adventure that we are normally running, so he's a little bit younger, a little bit, I would say, more naive, but not that much. We'll get to it as we go along. Our session today begins in a way that is usual for Artir. Every now and then, he will be in his tent, in his home, where he has been sleeping, and in walks a female figure, completely covered in disguise, Artir's mother, in her usual manner, stepping through the door secretly within the home. She doesn't speak as she steps in and waits for Artir to greet her.
Woman, did you come into my tent unbidden?
You are here because of me. Mijo, trust me. I can go where I wish. Now, we have business to attend to. I have something for thee. Listen here. There is a caravan not too far from this area. It is usually guarded by simple folk, not much to trouble. It will bring great value to this tribe. The location is 20 miles east of here. It is a cave off the mountainside pass. You know what to do.
Jace. And I thank you again for your information.
Very well. I will speak to you again when I have some other need of you. Farewell.
Good day.
She starts and just walks away off into the distance. The moment she passes through the kind of fabric door that you have, she just disappears. And that's usual for her. Like, unless she wants to be seen, she isn't seen. But now, Artir, you know you have been given rough directions of a caravan that should be passing through. What do you usually do with that information?
I will find some water and sprinkle it onto my face, so I appear to have been in a sweat-like trance. And I go find Otsin to give him the information.
Okay. You trod through the campsite, the little village that you have, and it's a nice, simple little place. The tribe itself has close to about 100 individuals in it at any one given time, most of which are the warriors that go out on the raiding, but then they do have a large portion of women and children that tend to the village keeping itself. You pass through the little thoroughfare that leads towards Otsin's cabin, where you find Otsin and his 3 sons sat together enjoying a drink in silence within the camp.
I approach and I clear my throat. Obutu, I bring word of a vision.
Ah, great serpent. Thank you for sharing this, bringing it to us. What do you see?
So I walk up and I don't make eye contact with the brothers, and respectfully stare down as I tell Otsin, I see a very poorly guarded caravan along the sides of a mountain pass. I feel it is to the east, 15, maybe 20 miles. It will not be very difficult to take this caravan. I request merely the aid of my brothers.
Oh, what glory is there in a little undefended caravan? Give me sport, great serpent.
Hush, boy. You do not question the visions of the great serpent. Show your respect, or I will teach you respect.
Oh, respect. Great.
My chief, the wealth, the takings that we will find will be mighty, and we will add them to our coffers.
You have not faulted us thus far. Oh, great one. Quetzalton. What do you say?
As you say, Father, he's never led us astray before. Why would we choose to stop heeding him now?
Very well, very well. Agreed. The 3 of you will go. I must speak with Makama some more. Take what you need, no more. and see to it that you do not bring danger back to the village. It is so close to here. I fear that it might be a little too close.
Yes, Father.
Very well. He nods, bows, turns to walk away to his chambers where he would sleep, leaving the young ones alone together.
You could not find me a bit of spot? Crappy merchants in a bad caravan. What is this to me? I seek glory, not riches.
I have no control of my visions. I only go where we are bidden.
Oh, I saw a great serpent in his visions. Then shall we be off then? Older brother, you know the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff. Load up.
Okay. So you all gather your usual accoutrement when you head out on a little raiding party. You tend not to bring anything you don't need, so it's only weapons. It's only a bag or two to be able to collect the loot, nothing more. And you set out along the mountain path. It takes you a good few hours, not too much, but about, I think it's just about a day's walk east of the village before you get to the area that Artir kind of starts to recognize from the description that Silda had given him. The mountain pass divides, and there is a path less trodden that leads up into the mountains itself, and you know that leads towards somewhat of a cave system, being so close to this particular area. You follow the path up, keeping your distance, but staying within the, what is the night? The dark is coming in by the time you get there. You see off in the distance ahead of you the opening of a cave, and there's a little bit of a light just flickering just in front of it. Make perception checks, all of you. Okay. So, 17. Oh, young Artir, I am sorry, your rolls are set to be hidden. Let me change that real quick. There we go. So, the three of you all notice, though Noctli is a bit arrogant about the fact that he managed to notice it first, you see that in the flicker of this, what is a campfire, you see the shadows of three creatures. Two medium-sized, maybe looking humanoid of forms. You're a good distance away, so making out exact details on them is a bit difficult. But these two individuals appear to be sat down somewhat next to the fire, whilst a larger individual is stood up, casting a huge shadow off onto the cave wall, or the entrance to the cave wall.
Oh, this may be more interesting than you imagined. Big creature, worth death.
I'll try to keep the big guy occupied. If you guys will take out the two little ones.
No. Give me the glory. I do not want pitiful men. Give me the big man.
All right.
Much glory. I do not see any women, though.
Brothers, remember, we do need to leave one of these men alive. They need to tell the story of our gruesomeness.
But we can bring back the women?
If there are women, I recommend killing them all except for one.
No, we must bring back more stock. Fine women.
I am your humble advisor.
Noctli has much much to give and must produce more children for the tribe. We bring back women, so I have plenty of children.
So, as you three have ventured out on many a raid together, how do you tend to approach a situation like this?
With give them complete fear and struck an aura.
Yeah, I reckon we just like burst out of a tree line, like screaming at them or something, like barbarians do.
Yeah,
right?
No tact.
There is no semblance of stealth or anything. It's just wham bam, thank you ma'am.
Okay. You will find yourselves in the bottom right corner of the map. This is the forested area, and just off in the distance you see the two humanoid individuals that appear to be sat down with a taller individual next to them.
Yeah.
It's up to you what you guys do from this point in. You have the it's a bit of an incline. The land, though it looks flat, it's a climb up a hill towards the cave entrance. Distance-wise, it's the same as in the map, but you are moving up towards the entrance.
I'm gonna nudge Noctily in the shoulder and be like, those two little ones, they look like archers to you.
I cannot tell from this distance. What does it matter? They will not hit me.
I'm not a fan of being punctured by many arrows. Just
Then
in
don't
general.
get hit. They will be dead before they lose those arrows. Are we charging?
Yeah. Let's do it.
If you guys want to do that.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
I
As
would
you
like to rage.
As you rage and the blood, the battle mechanics just start filling your mind, we will go into our battle. There we go. All right. So you guys are still quite a distance away from this little campsite, but it sounds like you're not making much attempt at being stealthy. So you start crashing forwards, screaming in a rage. I would like everyone to roll initiative as you alert the individuals. I have Noctly, Artir, Quetzaltel.
9.
Quetzaltel, 9. Okay. Cool.
Do you have any pluses from alert?
The alert feat, I don't think
Yeah, it does.
it gives you
and I think
advantage, doesn't it?
No. I think it
No.
gives you like +5, and I think I've added it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get advantage. On initiative, actually.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it again, Noctly. See if you can beat a 14. Nope. So I'll put you back at 14. All right. So, do we have any ties? We do have a tie between young Artir and Quetzalten. Would you two like to decide who's going first?
I will defer to my other older brother.
Let me go first.
All right. So Quetzalten goes first. So, the three of you charge forward, drawing all of your weapons, entering into the rages that you're so used to just bursting into. As you scream, you hear screams coming from the individuals at the entrance of the cave as these two humanoids start to scramble and rush about. One of them in particular will stand immediately, pull out a long bow, and aim and fire at Quetzalten. Right there.
I have got to have some kind of cover.
Yes, you've got cover. It's a long distance shot, and he rolls a 15 to hit.
No.
Yeah. So the arrow goes wide, missing completely, but at least he's drawn the attention. He knows you're there. You know that he knows that you're there. This is on. He then gives a nod to the larger individual that is with them. This larger individual immediately starts to just charge forward into more or less a protective stance as it stands in front of these two others. The movement that it makes suggests that this is not a human thing. It is a typical construct that is often used in security measures in this particular area. It stands with its arms out, ready to defend his quarry, his friends. Noctli,
enraged, is charging at the stupid metal man. With screaming loudly, "Da!" 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 40 feet movement.
charging up, throwing trees out of the way as you move.
Yeah, I'm going to do a dash action to get right up in his face.
Okay.
And so I've raged already. I've got.
Yeah, you entered your rage. Okay. Then Quetzalton.
With my axe in one hand and my shield raised, I will also take a dash action, pretty much just following right beside my brother.
Alright, so running as fast as you can. There's no way Noctli is allowed to outshine you in battle.
That's not it. I just gotta watch his back is all. He gets into trouble.
Anything else from you, Quetzalton?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. And then finally, young Artir.
I will try to keep up with my brothers, although they are fleet of foot, and I do not know that I can close as much distance. But I will move and dash, and it will be done.
Okay. So following suit, as you just about crest up there, you see that the other individual, these two individuals that are at the back by the little camp, they don't look like much. In terms of abilities or strength, they look quite weak. The individual that to the left, in fact, I will color him green, color him blue. So the green one steps up out of the bed that he was sat on, draws out a scimitar, and just charges, screaming wildly, though the manner in which he does so kind of belays and reveals his immaturity when it comes to combat. He swings wildly with the scimitar, rolling a 5 to hit. So that's going to miss wildly as he tries to swing at Noctli. Doesn't even phase you at all.
Pitiful little man.
The other individual at the back will move over towards where all of their items and their little hoard is. Continue pulling out his longbow, aiming this time at Noctli again. As his friend had aimed. That's a 6 to hit. So that's going to miss. He will attempt a second shot. That's going to be a 13 to hit, so that's also probably going to miss you, right?
Yep. See, brother.
Both these arrows.
You avoid that stupid arrows. You do not let them hit you.
However, the large stone metal creature in front of you will reach down to grab you. Make an athletics or acrobatics check, please, Noctli.
I get advantage on this because I am raging.
Okay. He grabs down on you with one hand and actually grapples you. You are now grappled by the Shield Guardian. At which point, with you in his hand, he will then just punch you in the face with his other. That's going to be a 23 to hit you.
Right.
Okay, you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Half.
As this halved down to 5, as this massive fist just embeds itself into your face.
Okay.
At which point, Noctley, you get to react. It's your turn.
I would actually like to take a reaction after Stone Guy before Noctley to use my Sentinel feature, which allows me to attack him once because he attacked my bro.
Yep. So with an 18, that is definitely going to hit. As he's coming down for the punch, you slash away at his arm. 14 points of slashing damage. All right. Now it's Noctley's turn.
Bear with Notley. About 20. Decided he wanted to reload. And now Notley cannot see his character sheet. Notley is ready to fight.
Dies.
Notley is now ready to fight. Be patient.
Okay.
So Notley is going to do Reckless Great Weapon Master on the big beastie.
Okay.
Can I say I really enjoy Noctley referring to himself in the third person? It's so Noctley.
Oh, good old Noctley. Noctley swings, and as he's screaming and saying, shouting, he misses wildly.
Huh.
You were attacking the Shield Guardian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noctley is not impressed. Stupid shield man. Take another strike.
Okay.
Nope.
16 is not going to hit, unfortunately. This time you do actually hit the flesh of it, but the way in which you brought your weapon, it just kind of glanced, bounced off. Quetzalton, what would you like to do?
Gonna move first. See how far I can move. Hang on. Yep.
Okay, so you run around the other side of this giant guardian.
And just gonna whack him 3 times. But he is flanked now, right? Or do I need to be one more over?
Move one more over.
Okay. Can't make it this time. That was 30 feet. So I will just whack him 3 times.
You can get around it.
Well,
It's fine. He doesn't fill the entirety of that 10 by 10 square, so you can duck in through him.
I'll take it.
And yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
All right.
You guys are seasoned combatants. Go ahead and attack
There you
3
go.
times with advantage. So the first attack comes down, hits in. The rebound and the way that your weapon vibrates hitting this metal creature makes your second attack just miss, and then you come in for a third one to hit. Okay. Also, by the way, as a battle master, your maneuvers, I believe the majority of them say that you specify whether or not to use them before finding out if the attacks hit or miss.
Yeah, they're supposed to be used in tandem with whatever attack you're making, so I just figured you'd smoosh them together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So just before I start saying whether or not they miss, let me know you're going to do something else.
Appreciate it.
So that is 23 points of slashing damage as you just hammer away with your battle axe.
I'm actually slashing at
Anything
him kind of lazily.
Yeah? Alright. Quetzalton, anything else from you?
No.
Alright, cool. Young Artir.
I am going to step to the left so that I can be behind the cover of this shield giant from the archer.
Yep.
And when I reach here, I will cast I will give a spell of blessing to my brothers, seeing their challenges hitting this creature, and grant them an extra 1d4 on their attack rolls.
Okay.
And I will end my turn.
All right. Then it is the individual that's next to Noctley. Seeing that you are grappled by the shield guardian, it's going to try and take its opportunity, get in a little jab here and there to try and see if it can do anything. Rolled another 2. That's terrible. That's a 5 to hit.
He's got advantage.
Oh, he's got.
Reckless attack.
Yeah. That makes it 21 to hit.
Yep.
Sweet. So he slashes away at you with his scimitar, dealing a whopping 4 points of slashing damage,
Halved.
which is halved down to 2, as he's just trying to whack away at you. His buddy, his friend, will climb up on top of the boxes, trying to get the high ground over the situation, screaming obscenities to you in a language that you don't speak. He will fire 2 shots at Quetzalton. First one being a 17 to hit you.
Miss.
Miss. And the second one is an 11 to hit. These rolls are terrible. Lastly, the shield guardian, with Noctley in his hand, will start moving away. So, with you grappled, he'll... Yep.
I'm gonna take an opportunity attack on him.
You will be able to take him an opportunity attack if he leaves your area of melee, which he will not. He's not walking away from you, he's walking towards the cave entrance, which is past you somewhat. Okay. So, you were absolutely correct with the Sentinel action. That does absolutely work, that if you have an attack of opportunity, you can attack, and if it hits, his speed is reduced to 0. But if the creature stays within melee range, it doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity.
That's a weird situation.
Sorry. As he moves further around towards the cave entrance, he will take an opportunity to, again, hit Noctley.
That's it, stupid creature. Run away.
That's a 26 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And you will take 12 points of bludgeoning, cut down to 6 because you're raging. End of his turn. All right.
I'm still gonna use my Sentinel feature
Go
to bop him. And this time, I think I am going to attempt a disarming attack in order to get him to drop my brother.
Okay, go ahead.
So.
All right, so when you hit the creature with a weapon attack, you expend the superiority die. All right, so go ahead and make the attack.
Yep.
That's definitely going to hit. He's got to make a DC 18 strength saving throw, which he fails.
Yes!
Immediately dropping Artir, his hands open up as if in pain, though it's a shield guardian and it doesn't feel any pain. Its hands just rip open as he drops Noctley.
You're like, get up, you fool!
I am fine. Leave me up. It's a little part of my plan.
Okay.
Anything? Well, that was your reaction. Noctley, you are now free. What are you going to do?
Okay, reckless, standard, great axe attack. So 22.
Yes, 22 will hit.
So 12 points plus 3 radiant damage.
Yep.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to throw in flavor, but you doing anything else?
Second attack. I might go Great Weapon Master again, actually. Like this. Yeah!
Alright. Powerful attack. As you run up with your first attack to just whack it, you then come down with an even harder swing. You've cut quite deeply into this creature. It is beat up quite somewhat.
That should have been a crit.
Because it's on an 18.
I crit on a 19. That 23 is a 9 because I get a +4, so 19. I haven't set it up on this Great Weapon Master thing in my range. So
go ahead and roll 1d12.
It's 2 more d12 because I get brutal critical as well. Roll.
Alright. Go ahead. Alright, an extra 16.
Plus rage damage +3. Sorry.
You don't double the rage damage.
No, I don't. But that's rage damage from the first attack, and that's rage damage from the second attack.
Rage attack from the second. Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Alright, so at the end of those two powerful attacks, the Shield Guardian looks to be like it's taken quite a few dings. It's struggling to operate properly. Anything else from you, Noctley? I
spit on it. Your stupid metal machine. You're going to crumble into pieces, and I will take you and I'm going to have a little run.
Quetzalton.
Gonna do another 3 attack maneuver, basic. So I will do this one by one. You let me know when he's dead.
So the first attack hits, weakens him quite severely, but he is not dead. Unfortunately, your second attack, as usual.
You got blessing. He's got blessing.
Oh, I do have blessing. I have blessings
on attack rolls or saving throws. Yep.
My brothers.
Go ahead. All right. Remembering in your mind that you are being guided by the great serpent spirit that is Artir, you focus a little bit harder, and that attack that should have missed just manages to hit in and does a bit of damage. The thing buckles beneath the weight of your attack, but it's still standing.
Let's see if I can knock its head off. Oh! Oh!
And
what a finisher!
How would you like to do this?
Well, I would like to incorporate the other attacks. And I would like to ram my battle axe into its throat on either side so that it weakens the neck point, and then do a twirl around and then whap it right off the shoulders.
As your last attack comes in, it just carves perfectly through the neck of this Shield Guardian head, which immediately flies through the air, rotates, and lands in the hands of the archer that's on top of the crates as he just looks down at it in shock horror.
As a bonus action, I would like to lock eyes with the one who caught it and then roar at him.
Roll an intimidation check.
Okay.
Not that you're trying to intimidate, I just want to see how intimidating your presence is.
He's the least intimidating presence of all of the brothers.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you focus on him. He's just absolutely fixated on the fact that you have taken this thing's head off. Anything else from you, Quetzalton?
That'll be it.
All right. Artir, you see that Quetzalton has royally finished off the Shield Guardian. What would you like to do?
I will move up to be next to Nutley. And I too will lock eyes with the archer who has caught the remains of the shield guardian. And I will use my menacing presence to do the thing that it says when I click it.
Okay, when you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one attack with an attempt to demoralize one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you that can see or hear you. Make a charisma intimidation check, contested by his wisdom insight. Okay. He is frightened by you. Absolutely terrified. He drops the head as he just stares at you.
I flash my fangs at him and then turn around and use my greatsword to recklessly attack the other naive foe who has so carelessly put himself in position.
Okay, you swing and you carve through him. And I mean literally just shoulder to waist. He is sliced in twain. All right. Anything else from you, young Artir?
And I point to the frightened archer on the box. Says, "You are next!" And then in a lower voice, I say to my brothers, "Do not kill him. We need him to tell we need him to tell the others how gruesome we are." That's it.
Immediately as you command him, he just starts to turn away, stumbling over the crates, falling top over onto the ground, pokes his head up on the other side, still sees that you're all there. This is not a good situation, and he just starts running as fast as he can away from here. Which is out there. Yep. So, Noctley, Quetzalton, and Artir, are you going to be chasing after this individual, or will you let him run to tell the tale?
Noctley, the great Noctley is sitting here going, Did you see my great exhibition of prowess against this thing? You may have slain it, but I am the one. I distracted it for you. I took all the damage and all the hurt, and he now lay dead on my feet. And this one here, yes, you did good work, great serpent. You hit this foolish man who runs.
I'm just gonna be rolling my eyes and cleaning my blade on some of my clothes.
Noctley, the greatest battle warrior of the tribe, and the great serpent. But this great serpent is not as big as Noctier's great serpent. Now run! You tell them that.
He is just running as fast as he can. You see he starts to stumble and fall over the rocks, down the hill, down this mountainside. He is terrified of you all. Which leaves the three of you alone at the entrance to this cave, where there appears to be a ramshackle little campsite with a number of crates and chests.
You did well, my brothers. I will tell the tribe of your prowess.
Likewise, they will know of yours. Now let's see what we won.
The great Noctley's prowess should be known to all.
It is evident to all.
So you go around the little campsite, and as soon as you walk past the entrance to the cave, you notice that inside of it is a wagon with a horse tied up next to it. Not set up yet, but this is obviously how they had been carrying all of their goods. You then take a look at some of these crates. You start breaking them open. It tends to be a lot of fine clothings, some jewelry is found. Not the greatest score you've ever found, but you know for a certainty that you guys can easily enjoy all of the wonderful splendors that you find. You do see some weapons, you see some coin, totaling up to approximately the worth of about 2,000 gold pieces worth of stuff.
While rooting around and everything is just being thrown over my shoulders and stuff. A giant mess is being piled up behind me. I find a very large lady's garment, but I don't know what it is. And so I will put it on over my armor and be like, "Hey guys, look, I'm a lord."
You are a splendid lord.
That is looks very fine.
As you pull out this large lady's dress, a little metal thing chink chink drops to the ground.
What was this?
You pick it up, you start looking it over. It looks to be a pendant, a necklace of sorts, with a bright red gem inside of it.
And I'm gonna toss it to Artir.
Is a very valuable spoils, and I toss it to Noctley.
Of great worth this will be to the tribe. Our father will be most pleased.
Jace.
So you gather everything up, you throw it up onto the cart that has so wonderfully been laid out for you, along with a horse to drag it. This has been one of your easiest scores ever. Barely any damage taken at all, and you did exactly what you needed to do. You went in, you took the spoils, someone ran off scared, you did what you needed. You head back along the path, spending another day. This time you spend a little bit longer traveling back towards the village, as well as resting for the night. You also make a point not to travel the same route back to your village as when you left, just to make sure that if anyone was chasing after you, they wouldn't be led directly back towards your home. When you get home, as per usual, you are greeted with a warm welcome as the women and children immediately rush out to see what you had found, and they just start throwing stuff and playing with it and having a lot of fun, not using any of this stuff as it's intended to be used, but just enjoying looking at everything and pouring through all of the goods. Otsin is there at the front of the city, waiting to welcome you into well, not his arms, but into the area of the village. Come in, great warriors.
Father, we've returned, and we've made sure no one has followed us.
Good, good. How fared the excursion?
As easy as shooting a fish in a pond.
They had big metal man. Great glory was had. And spoils everywhere. Noctley did a fine display of military dominance on these stupid, pitiful men.
Yep, Noctley was great.
Good, good. Very well. Thank you, great serpent spirit. You shall have first pick of all of the spoils of this, as it was you who led us to this great victory.
Please, Obutu, you need not honor me so. I humbly pass the first take to my eldest brother.
And I pass it back. Great serpent.
This is going to be a long night. Let's retire, have a feast, enjoy ourselves.
Noctley has no need for spoils. He needs good woman and food. Yo, and yo. Noctley had great appetite. Come to my tent.
Thankfully, Noctley picked out the only 3 women in the village that aren't related to him.
Noctley does not care. Many women.
All roll their eyes. Coming, Noctley. As they do follow your command. As the son of the chief, they do not question you. They merely tolerate you.
They are women. They do not question. I am a man. They don't question any man. Knockley,
So-
son of chief. Knockley get everything.
Ketz looks like he does not agree with any of that, but he's not gonna say anything.
As Otsin invites you all and hurries you all back towards the main area of the city, he orders all of the women to start gathering together a huge feast. Ale is brought to you all as they sing tales and shout stories of all of the many wonderful raids that the Great Serpent Spirit had aided them in. Throughout the course of the night, you guys enjoy your spoils and you relish in battle. What kinds of things would you guys be doing as a celebration?
Drinking, eating,
Yeah.
singing.
Target practice.
Sure.
I would be sure to be speaking of the exploits of my brothers, spreading tales, maybe exaggerating a tiny bit.
Oh,
Enjoying the women.
I'm gonna take Artir aside during the celebratory festivities and be like, obviously I wasn't serious about turning down your offer earlier. Can I have the horse?
But of course,
Thanks.
you can have the horse.
Thanks. I need to practice.
A horse is a horse.
Of course.
Of course.
Sorry, everybody, for that.
Oh, great serpents. Why don't you enjoy this fine lady and this fine lady? They're all here for all of us. Come on, brother. Join me as well.
I do not have the same appetites you do, my brother.
Oh. Yes. Knockley has many appetites.
As the night wears on, we fade to black on the little village of the tribesmen. Time continued to move on in Artir's village, and it was a regular thoroughfare of exactly that sort of behavior. Silda would enter the city in the dead of night, hiding herself, tell the location. It would always be a fairly easy pickings kind of score, and then they would execute it. And this happened for years and years, and it went on for a while. The years of prosperity, however, come to an end. As stories of the tribe's raids begin to grow, so too did the pressure that all of the noblemen within the city of Zazaspur would put on each other to try and stop this horrible tribe that have been effectively been able to disturb a lot of merchants' business. Silda's wealth, in the same time, had begun to grow steadily, as each of these individuals that were targeted happened to be somewhat connected to maybe a competitor of hers, and the people that would just get in her way. And so each time the raid would clear out a location, that would improve business for Silda in the long run. But rather than just accepting this as coincidence, rumors began to spread among Zazaspur that these raids are too precise, too perfect, and it was assumed that maybe there is some spies within the city. Something had to change. Something had to shift. And so, once again, Silda, a couple years after the latest raid, the raid that we just showed, makes her way back to the camp of the tribesmen. She finds Artir in his home once again, alone in his room, and as she steps in, she does announce herself this time. Artir, we must speak quickly.
Tell me, mother, what is it that you need?
I have another task for you, son. Another target that that needs your expertise, though this one is a little more delicate than the last.
Go on, I am listening.
Until now, you have served me and these people very well with by executing my desires perfectly. So I ask this time that you have faith in my plan, that should you execute it to the letter, it will work out to benefit this tribe and us, my son. Will you do this?
Of course. This is how we operate.
Good, good. There is a merchant caravan that travels through the city of Zazaspur once every year at about this time. This year, however, as celebration of the summer solstice, is a little bit larger than it would normally be. They are on their way, and the word that we have received is that this will have 100 men at arms protecting it, but the hoard within is all the wealth of the greatest nobles of Tethir. It is a target that cannot be missed, my son. Your tribe will be greatly benefited by the myriad of weapons, coin, gold, jewelries. It is unfathomable the score that you will receive, but it will be most dangerous. You will have to take all of your strongest warriors with you.
Of course, the chief and his family will be most pleased to hear of this. They seek not only riches, but glory, and this battle sounds like it will be glorious.
Good, good, good. Right. In 2 weeks, two weeks from now, this caravan will be making its way to Zazaspur from a town north of Zazaspur. Which one was it again?
Am.
Yeah, Am is the closest large town above. No, Am's not a town. Am is the land. Okay, Muran. So the caravan will be traveling along the tradeway down to Muran. They will be stopping within the Starspire Mountains, on the far side of the Starspire Mountains. The cave that they will be using, they use every year. It is the same one each time. It is very defendable. That is why they use it. You'll find it, and she points out locations, longitude and latitude, and all of that good details that you need to be able to identify exactly the spot that this caravan will be camped out at. 2 weeks, son. 2 weeks. Will you do it?
It will be done, mother.
Good, good. Do not disappoint me. You never have. I hope you never will. With that, she turns around as she does and walks away, and you don't see her again for that night. Well, as usual, you won't see her again until she comes with another target. Now, with this new information, what do you do?
Again, I sprinkle water on my face and find the chief.
This time, the chief is in his chambers, and it's late in the night, so he is quite fast asleep. His guardsmen, well, his tribesmen, stood outside the door as you arrive. What is it, great serpent?
You must wake the Obutu immediately. I have a vision, and he must hear it.
Right. Okay. Another vision. Okay. I'll go. He steps through the doorway, and you hear distant murmuring as the chief slowly makes his way out. Since he's been asleep, he's completely naked as he steps through the doorway. Great serpent spirit, what can I do for you in this dark hour of night?
Mighty Obutu, I mean no disrespect. I only come to you during my visions, and I have had a vision of a glorious score.
Good, very well. Okay, you can see that he's trying to shake off sleep. Yes, great spirit. Thank you. Let me gather my my sons together. We shall discuss another of your visions. Please meet me in the audience hall. I will gather the boys.
As you wish.
You go. It's about an hour or so as he's putting on all of his usual attire before then going to gather his sons, wake them up. The Great Spirit has another test for us, another target for us, another opportunity. My sons, come. Notley, leave them alone. We have to go.
Muted.
You're muted. Ty.
Oh, Father, is this another pitiful little merchant attack? The great Knockley is sick at these.
I'm gonna be like, show some respect, and I'm gonna throw my pillow at him.
I do respect, but the great serpent, the other man, take the younger boy. The great Knockley is tired.
The great Knockley will be woken up when I say, now wake up and come, boy.
And if he resists again, I'm going to go over to the bed and actually like try to pick up the side of the bed and dump him out of it, along with the women.
There screams and clap. He slaps the bum cheek and goes, "Do not move. Knockley will be back."
You follow your father into the audience hall. He sits down in his usual big chair, which has grown as more things have been added to it with each of these raids over the years. A little trinket here, a little trophy there. Particularly, the most recent one was actually a dragon skull that he put on the top of his throne. He was particularly pleased about that. As Artir stands in the center of the hall. Oh, great serpent spirit, what is it that we shall do to serve you today?
Mighty Obutu, I wake you because of the urgency of this vision. It shook me from my slumber, and I must communicate it to you immediately, so I do not forget any details.
The great Knockley was also shook from his slumber.
I have a vision of a mighty caravan, spoils beyond anything we have ever dreamed or imagined that we could have captured. This caravan will be guarded by maybe 100 of these soft men who wilt before our blades. We could take all of them, leaving a handful of survivors maybe, but the glories will be spectacular.
How many is 100?
It is many more times than what we have fought, just the three of us. We will need all of our forces, all of our able-bodied men, and even the women who can fight. We must bring them all.
We mean no woman can fight. Not like the Great Knuckly.
None can fight like the Great Knuckly. No man nor woman.
But you speak of great battle, my friend.
Jace.
The chief speaks up. Our village has but 40 battle-worthy warriors. I do not doubt their prowess, as they are greater than tens of normal, lesser men. Do you believe, Great Serpent Spirit, that we will be glorious in this battle?
Without a doubt.
Roll a persuasion check. All right. He trusts you quite explicitly. You've never served him wrong. And with a glimmer of hope and excitement that flares in his eyes, this should be a raid to remember. Very well. What details can you give me? When do we attack?
We have 2 weeks to prepare. I know exactly when and where they will set up camp. It will be heavily fortified and is easily defendable. But if we get there before they do, we can launch a trap.
Get there before. Huh. Very well, very well. My sons, see to it that all preparations are made as needed as per the Great Serpent Spirit's instructions. We will be ready to fight, and we will be ready to take glory from those that don't deserve it.
Huzzah!
Hola!
I am going back to sleep. He stands and then walks away. And you all prepare for battle, making sure that your armor is greater, making sure that you are fully prepared for everything that you might face. As this is a larger scale and you guys have been basically dealing with small little groups up until this point, what bits of extra preparation would you be making for this, just so that I know?
The Great Knuckly needs no preparation. He's always ready for this.
I myself am as ready as I'm going to be, but being the strategist, I'd say have us make and bring make as many traps as we can within a reasonable amount of time before we had to go, and that could include animal traps and pitfall traps if we get there soon enough, or any other potential methods given via the info from Artir to shape the environment to our advantage.
Okay. So animal traps, you guys have plenty because you use them regularly for hunting. So you can easily grab a couple of those and take it, get ready to use it. Obviously, pitfalls and all of that stuff, you got to wait until you get there to see what you have.
Oh, some
available.
sharpened sticks too. Can't have too many of those.
As usual. All the weapons you could carry. Anything else? Any other preparations you guys are going to make before you make the trek early?
I will have my horse.
Okay. Cool. All right. Then you guys start trekking with Otzin at the front. He is riding a mighty steed, a huge war horse that is his and has been his for a long time, longer than a horse normally lives. This has been his steed. He rides it ahead of the group through the mountain pass as the winds blow his hair back. He just looks powerful and majestic. You arrive to the point that you expect the cave to be, and just as usual, you see cave entrances just off to the distance. There are plenty to choose from. Otsin stops the caravan, turns back to Artir. Great serpent spirit, how will we know which of these caves to set up in?
Referring back to my conversation with Silda, I communicate to the best of my ability whatever she communicated to me to identify the correct cave.
Mm-hmm. The information she gave you that you pass on is that on the other side of the cave, so you will have to backtrack somewhat. You will find that along the trail, the tradeway path that makes its way towards the mountains, there tends to be certain markers placed, and depending on the way in which the markers are shaped guides you towards this stopping point. And so you guide Otsin along the road past the mountainside, to which point you start making your way back, and you follow the signs that you are used to, that you know to look for, that lead you up towards this cave. You get to it, and it is an enormous cave. It's probably about 60 foot wide. It moves on to 100 foot deep, but rather than seeing the back of the cave, you actually see that the cave turns down, like it starts sloping down backwards at the end of it. You move in to the cave. You can get everyone, all of your 40 warriors in there easily. Now you're at the mouth of the cave. What do you guys do?
How much time do we think we have until they arrive?
You've got 3 days before they're expected.
So we're going to set up basic primary defenses in the form of sharpened sticks. Much of which will be on the ridge where the back of the cave starts to go down. So you got like a little bit of space in the cave, and then spikes. Wall of spikes. Mm-hmm. And with one little opening.
As you're building up the barricade at the back where the slope starts, you go to explore the back end of the cave structure, and the slope drops and then starts to turn as it spirals down a good 100 foot into this large chamber that you look around, you can see evidence of this room being used regularly. There are bedrolls, there are old campfires that have burnt out long ago. There are crates that are broken and empty all around this place. This is obviously a huge hoard cavern that is used regularly.
Spikes down there too. Spikes everywhere.
Brother, we need to get them in here and then trap and then slaughter them all.
Yes, we do. So just gotta be real quiet.
A fine killing bread. We will killing ground all over the place. We shall destroy this stupid man.
We will want some of our forces to be outside to push them in. Probably, right? To flank them when they arrive.
No, have them. They will come in here
Artir,
anyway.
What do you think?
The Great Serpent says.
I believe they use these cave systems as shelter during their travels. I do not believe they will need any coaxing.
Okay. Well, my concern is that they're going to come in a line, and the scouts are going to be able to understand immediately that the place is occupied, and thus they will run back out to the rest of the caravan that has the merchandise and say, "Don't go in there. There are people in there."
Then the great Knockley, I take 10 good men and we ride them into here, make them insecure, ride them in, and then you set the trap and we will destroy them.
This sounds very wise to me.
Do it.
The great Knockley is wise.
So while you guys are setting up your traps and working, you see that your father, Otsin, is getting involved in all of this. He's helping out however he can, leading you all by example as well as anything else. And you see that as it gets closer to and the preparations start building up, his actions start to get a little bit quicker and faster, almost like he is getting excited by the idea of this battle and the honor and glory that'll come with it. We will take a break now at this point for 15 minutes while I prepare the cave as per their instructions. Be back in 15 minutes for the great battle that will ensue. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, after this short break. We resume and gather together with our heroes for tonight's session only, as they are setting up their little camp, their ambush setting. They dig a lot of pits. They set a lot of traps. They get prepared as they would in more of a not a military style ambush so much as an animalistic. Once the target has entered, all hell will break loose upon them, and the rain of rage and anger will come across. You have 3 days that you work on until you assume, or what you believe, the caravan should be arriving at. On the day of the third day, everything is tense. You see that Otsin is stood at the entrance of the cave, just staring down the mountain pass towards the north along the tradeway. His eyes are just fixed off into the horizon as a sentinel before the cave. He doesn't move from his post throughout the day, and a good 8 or so hours go by. Eventually, as the sun is beginning to set, you see him stepping back in. He approaches Artir. "Oh, great serpent spirit, I know not of many caravans that move by night. Did we miss something? When will they be here?"
My Obutu, this was supposed to be the day. I do not know why the caravan has not yet arrived. Perhaps we can send scouts to see if it is ahead, or maybe we can search for tracks to see if it had somehow passed us by and was early. But this was the day. I am certain of it. My visions are never wrong.
All right. We will stay here one more day as we try to find out where this caravan is around us. Quetzalton, you go along the path north, follow the tradeway, half a day, come back, find what you can about this caravan, if they are still north and on their way. Noctley, you head south. Again, half day, come back. Tell us if they have passed us.
Yes, Father.
Once they've done so, we will come back. We will move.
Yes,
you
Father.
then more or less just rush out, follow his instruction, and head out. Quetzalton, I need you to roll a perception check as you head out onto the path. Okay, you see a large number of tracks that have moved up and down the road, but not really anything fresh. So you continue moving up. It seems to support the idea in your mind that they haven't passed yet. So you continue moving up a couple hours. Roll a survival check as you continue to do so. Now, utilizing all of your tracking skills, hoping to get just at the right point to be able to see the caravan as they're moving towards you. You get up to the point of you've left the camp half a day. It is now that you would return. You have not seen the caravan. There is no evidence that any caravan has come this way yet or are coming this way in the future. You can't see them. Maybe they got past a while back. You don't know, but your efforts were fruitless.
I tell my horse, I have a bad feeling. And the wind blows my hair a little bit as I stare out.
Noctley, you head out about the same time as Quetzalton. As he heads north, you start heading south. Again, a perception check from you as you try to catch the tracks and look at the area. Okay. You also don't really see so many tracks, which in your mind, like if you're convinced that the caravan's just not arrived yet, that your efforts are effectively useless as you're going to move away from the camp and you hope you're not going to miss the battle. Roll a survival check as you're hunting through, just checking while you're heading down the path. Okay, a little bit better with this one. You do start picking up some tracks as you move further south. You're able to differentiate them from your tracks. You know they're definitely not the tracks of your camp, but they're old, like at least a week old, these tracks. So you start to follow them, and you continue following these tracks further down the path to the point of your halfway mark, your half day. I need you to roll a perception check when you get just out of the mountain pass. You can see a valley spread out before you. Roll a perception. Okay. You don't see any of the plot hooks I have prepared for you. No, you don't see any evidence of the camp. If they were the ones that passed by a week ago, they're not on the trail anymore. So either they're in Zazaspur already, or they're not yet here. One or the other. You're not sure. So you...
The great Nocti passes his horse and goes, he feels nothing. I feel nothing.
As you are obedient to your father, you all turn around, start heading back, and you keep track of the area as you're moving in, making sure that you're not being followed or you're not missing anything as you come back. And you do both meet up more or less the same time into the cave. And Otsin is just stood there expectantly. Well, where is this great horde?
I see nothing, Father, to the north.
I too see nothing from
But I cannot shake this feeling like our God is very seldom wrong, if ever. I can't, within my own memory, recall a time in which he's been wrong about something he said from a vision. So I don't like this.
This is strange. This horde has not passed us, but are not coming past us. I do not know what's... He turns around immediately and heads straight into the caravan, into the camp, straight towards Artir. Great Serpent Spirit, help me, advise me. I need to understand this. Where is this caravan? Where is the spoils, the battle that we were promised?
I do not understand, mighty chief. My visions are never wrong, and I saw this caravan in this place at this time. I apologize for failing you.
Father, perhaps we were spotted and seen, and the caravan turned around way before ever coming near us.
Yes, perhaps they saw the great Nocti. And they fled.
Great Serpent Spirit, I would not ask this of you in normal circumstances, but something feels wrong. Are you able to call upon a vision so that we understand what is our next action? Do we continue to follow this test of yours and remain here waiting for this camp, or do we return home? What is your verdict?
Mighty Chief, it seems clear to me that my vision was wrong. There seems to be no purpose for us to be here any longer.
Very well. Very well. Right. My people, my warriors, my friends, my family. The Great Spirit has seen to test us, and we followed the command, though battle was not required. We have passed and served valiantly. Let us return home now to our wives and children, and remember that we followed the Great Spirit's instruction as was given. Gather up everything you can move. Let's go. And camp immediately starts packing up and making its way back, stopping every now and then for like camp and sleeping and all those arrangements. All the while, this feeling of dread it becomes visibly over Otzin's face. Something doesn't feel right. His pace begins to quicken as he makes his way, leading you all through the mountain passes, to the point where whenever you travel this pass before, there has always been a moment where you curve around out of the mountainside and you can see your village just off to the distance, or the area that you know your village is, and you can see the land that surrounds it, and it always brings a feeling of peace and happiness seeing home and seeing where you can go. I'd like everyone to roll perception checks as you see Otzin's face drop. All right. What's everyone's passive? So, can you guys hear a siren? There we go. All right.
16.
So 16,
11.
15, and 11. All right. So, Quetzalton, you're the only one that notices off in the distance where you expect your home to be, smoke is rising.
Ketz's face slowly transforms into an eerie, mirrored depiction of his own father's. And then he's going to slowly start walking towards, and then he's going to break off into a run.
Otzin follows suit exactly. As soon as he sees you kick into action, he kicks into action and he gallops his horse as fast as he can towards home. You're a good hour's ride away from the village before you get close, but as you all start getting closer, the vision that you see before you starts getting clearer. The smoke that's rising is from fresh fires. The village has been attacked during the night and is still attacked. You can see your women, your children are being dragged out of the homes at this very moment and being you don't see them being harmed so much as being rounded up. As you're approaching, Otzin leaps off of his horse, as he's not a horseback riding battle master or anything. He leaps off and just starts charging as he pulls his battle axe out. You all follow suit, charging towards your village as a large group of guards all make their way out to greet you. I will pull everyone over to the map of town. And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
I feel like I got that alert feat for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. These guards that are outside the city walls and making their way towards you look like they're your average city guards, but they're well armed and they seem seasoned. by the way that they're behaving. Let me add Quetzalton's order. What did you roll, Quetzalton? An 8?
An 8, which was a natural 1.
It's not good.
Nope.
See how your father does.
Staggered. Can't believe this is happening.
Like father, like son.
We're trying to look after each other as we're running it.
Yep. He's distracted.
The great Noctley rolled an 18 on his first roll.
Advantage. All right. So any evens? No. Okay. So as the heat of battle rages within you all, and these guards step out to meet you, the guards get to go first. So the first one will move straight towards you all, and with a huge greatsword will swing. That's a nat 1. That's going to be terrible. Second attack is I'm going to throw these dice away. That was a 5. That's never rolling those dice again. So that one failed on his attempt. His friend will move forward. We'll actually dash forward to that point.
Noctley should be acting there.
Noctley? Oh yeah, 18. I don't know why. Let me make sure everyone's in. There we go. Okay. So Noctley, you saw that one of the guards charged forward and attacked your elder brother. What do you do?
The great Noctley is furious. He will go into frenzy rage and charge at the other infidels.
Get him.
My brother can handle that piece of shit. And I'm gonna great weapon master, that kind of crap. Reckless, great weapon master.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on!
You swing and the rage just threw you off. You throw it wide.
Doing it again.
Oh,
That's a
do it. That's a crit. So you 37
plus that's 40 straight.
40 points of slashing damage as you carve your way through this guard's flesh. He's still alive, though barely.
Not for long. Action surge. So another great weapon master. Really? Oh, right.
Yeah. The great Noctley is not so great.
Yeah, you can go for a standard attack now.
Okay.
19.
The great with a 19 because you're doing it recklessly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the 19 does hit as you cut into his flesh. That last, that's 16 points. Yeah, you fell him immediately with that last blow. His body falls limp to the ground. Anything else from you, Noctley?
Yeah, they're going to run through him and carry on to the other.
Okay.
Only the great Noctley groups up the women.
The guard that acts after you runs around you and will attack you with advantage, though you gave him advantage because you were reckless anyway. That's a 20 to hit you.
That hits.
Okay. You will take 8 points of slashing damage. Halved down to 4. Comes in for a second. Okay, that's a 24 to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 9 points of slashing halved down to 5. No, half to 4, sorry. Down to 4. As he slashes away at you. A guard that's next to you will actually run past you and charge through the door of the house right here and run inside the building. You don't see what happens to him once he runs inside the building. His friend Oh, that's much better. That's a 15 points of slashing, halved down to 7.
The great Noctli made an error earlier. He does not make many errors, but he forgot to add the 2 additional D12s. He would have done damage on the crit roll to that first guy. Probably would have killed him on that blow.
That's true. That's true. It's a shame. Next time.
God damn it.
So that's a 18 on the next attack.
That also hits.
Also hits. Hey. I'm using my transparent die.
Yeah.
So that's 8 points of slashing cut down to 4 because of your rage. And the last guard that's in front of you will actually not attack you with a weapon. You see him reach down into his bag, pull out a set of manacles, and he will attempt to manacle you. So you need to roll an athletics or acrobatics check.
I have advantage because I'm raging, and this is a strength-based check.
Yep. And he rolled a 21.
Crap. At a +8.
Immediately, his hands just lock around yours as these metal clamps just wrap around your wrists. You are now manacled by him, which until you break these manacles, you are restrained, effectively, which means disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
Okay. Young Artir. You are muted.
I will unmute myself.
Okay.
And I will move 30 feet. And when I get there, I will cast Bless on Ketz, Oatson, and Noctli.
Okay. So everyone gets blessed.
And we'll end my turn there.
Alright. Quetzalton.
I remember from our canon game that Aaron's able to move in between taking his attack actions. That's right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I will start out with a trip attack on the guy in front of me.
Okay.
That hits.
So that'll definitely hit him. 15 points of slashing. He's got to make a strength saving throw.
17 points of slashing.
Yeah, 17. He actually manages to succeed. So he's not knocked prone.
Okay. That's okay. And then I will move.
Past him.
Past him. So he gets...
Okay. He will take an attack of opportunity against you.
Go for it.
Okay. That's a nat 1, so no, he won't.
He stumbles a little bit and then tries to get his sword out. Doesn't. Alright.
Anything? So you move. Artir, now that you're in that position, you can see through the open door. The guard has run in to grab an individual that is in there. You see him wrestling with a woman that's inside the house. And Quetzalton, you notice this as you're running past. The guard that ran inside the house has grappled a woman.
Well, my brother's more important. So I'm going to attack the guy that's to his left and is putting him into a flanking position. And that's my next 2 attacks. And then that should be it.
So, the 28 does hit. As you cut into him. However, doesn't. So you deal 14 points of slashing damage. You cut into him. Anything else from you?
That'll be it.
Okay. The guard. Make sure. So it's now Odson's turn. Your father gets to react, and in a rage, he screams and shouts at the guard that's right there. Will slash at him once with a battle axe, and you'll see if it hits. Okay. He's blessed, so he's going to roll 1d4 bless. Okay, 17. So that does hit. So an additional 19 points of damage. He will also Divine Smite that. Because he is a paladin, and that's what paladins do. For an additional 18 points, that is enough to kill. So in that one swipe of his battle axe, you see a brilliant flare of radiant light explode from the body of this guard as he is dropped to the ground. Odson then charges past into the house. Quetzalton, you've passed it, so you don't see what happens in here. Knockley can't see it. Artir, you do notice that he just starts attacking the guard that's in there. He will make one more attack with his battle axe. 26 is definitely going to hit for 11 points of radiant. And he will also, in a fit of rage, smite this as well. Nice. So that's a total of 23 plus 3, 26 points of damage. Okay. That is all he does as he screams and shouts that these people need to leave his city alone. The guard is dead. Knockley.
The great Knockley, these manacles are nothing to him. He will recklessly attack still, so that's just flat rolls. Just going to do flat great axe rolls. I'll try it on the guy behind me first.
Okay. The one that's already been wounded quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right, you swing and you cut through him, and he falls.
With that, I'm going to turn to this guy. Who's the guy manacled me now? Actually, so is that guy?
This guy manacled you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I've embedded this one. I'm just gonna go. Oh no!
With parts of the body of that one still fresh on your blade, your axe, you swing it at the other. Go ahead and roll me. Natural one. You miss terribly. You do keep hold of your great axe as it throws you off balance, but you missed.
Okay. My bonus action, I'm going to make another attack.
Okay.
Either because I killed something, Great Weapon Master, or because I'm defensive range. Take it. 27.
27. That will hit for. So that's 12 points of slashing.
Plus the 3 rage damage, so 15.
Okay. Anything else from you?
No, the great knuckly is done.
Okay. Cool. Then it is the guard's turn, the one that was inside the house. He will attack Otsin.
I can't reach him, can I? He's behind a wall.
He's behind a wall.
Okay.
Yeah. They're inside the house, a little bit further in. That will miss terribly. We'll attempt a second attack, which will also miss. Otsin is pretty beefy. It's terrible. The guard immediately south of Noctley, seeing that you are restrained by him, will try to knock you out. Just keep attacking you. Advantage, he rolls a 24 to hit. So that'll hit you. You take 10 points of slashing damage, cut down to 5. And for his second attack, he will actually not attack you, but instead step aside and attempt to do the same thing as before and a manacle Quetzalton.
Bring it.
So, athletics or acrobatics check, please, Quetzalton. Yeah, there's no way he beat a 27. All right.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you even trying to do?
He puts the manacles on your wrists, but they don't fit around your wrists. And you just shrug them off. That's all he can do.
Oh, was that an attack, technically?
Yes.
That he performed on me? In which case, I would like to perform a riposte.
Riposte, okay. Go ahead. So an 18 will hit. 13 points, okay.
Not 13, 16.
16? Oh yeah, the extra 3 because the... Okay. Alright. Anything else from you? Because
Nope.
he attacked you. Now it's the guard that had already manacled Noctley. So now that you are restrained by him, he will try to take you down by actually his first attack misses terribly with a 14.
Is that with advantage?
With advantage. It's terrible.
Okay.
So instead of attacking a second time, he will attempt to grapple hold of you. So you're manacled and restrained. He will actually try to grab hold of you so that he can start moving you with him later. So another athletics or dexterity or acrobatics check, please.
I have advantage.
Yeah, you've got advantage. And he rolled a 5. So you're still restrained, but he's unable to get control of you while you're restrained. That's his turn. Artir.
Can I occupy this space?
Yeah, you can go up against the wall. It's a bit tight, but yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Then I will do that, and then I will attack this guy right here.
Okay. So he is being flanked, so you have advantage on the attack. And that's a powerful attack. 29 points. Right, that is actually enough. With that one attack, you cut through him and he falls. Another of the guards that came to meet you falls to your blades.
And I will continue moving up to here and swing twice more at this guy.
Okay. So the 14 won't hit. 16 will. No, it won't. Sorry, no, 16 won't hit. Alright, so anything else from you, Artir?
But can you tell me what these guards look like? Are they wearing colors, or are they equipped in a way for us to know where they came from?
So they are wearing mostly black robes. They tend not to have any sort of sigils or anything on them, though the armament that they have is very costly. It's clean as well, so it seems to suggest they would be from the major city. And you start noticing a little bit more about them. The way they look, the people that they are, some of their clothes, it looks like it's from Zazaspur. It's definitely from the major city.
I will end my turn.
Quetzalton.
Can you tell me real quick what this is and what they have been doing, and if I can see it?
So, not yet. That's an individual that is literally at this moment walking towards you.
Okay. Alright. So then I will dance around, leaving Dad, because I know he can handle himself against one little guy. So I will come up around here. And he's got...
He's planked, wounded, and he is
Noctly?
struggling to live.
Does he have Noctly?
He doesn't have Noctly. Noctly is restrained in manacles, but is not grappled at all. So.
Oh, okay.
No one has Noctly but Noctly.
Yeah, it's not even a concern. Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to trip him.
Okay. You swing your attack. That does hit. He's got to make a strength saving throw. And he fails the strength save.
Cool. So now my next two attacks... Oh, he was already flanked anyway, so I would have had advantage.
Yeah.
Oh well,
So he
one extra point of damage.
Right. After the third attack, you come in with your last attack. You cut deeply through him, and his body goes limp as you kill him.
I look up to my brother and say, "What's the body count?"
So
Body, the many bodies. There's another one over there.
No, I mean, what's your body count?
I kill many.
As you start arguing over the body count, you see your father step out with a guard in his hand, lifted up over the off the ground, so his feet are flailing beneath him. He charges forward with this guy in tow and throws the guard out in front. This guy falls to the ground at the feet of this new individual that arrived just at the end of Otzin's turn. And he is joined by a number of more individuals. The individual that stood up, you can see him, he looks separate from the rest in that he is wearing kind of armor, plate armor. So he is heavily decked out, wielding a huge glaive. His long black hair with a nice tidy goatee on his face, just with a huge smirk, like as cheeky as anyone could be in the middle of battle. You already hate this guy just from the way he looks. He steps forward, waves at you all. Here comes the real sport. You should just lay down your weapons now. Save yourselves the trouble. As he will stare at you all with a magical menace each of you need to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this a charm or a frightening effect?
This is a frightening effect, which in your rage you are unaffected by. Okay. Now, Quetzalton, you are blessed. Would you like to use... Hey! That's a 16. We need Artir to roll a...
Everyone also gets a +5 for being in my aura.
Well, then I'd like to take back my bless.
He don't need. He fear nothing. It is no trouble to kill this man.
Okay, so all of you managed to withhold the frightening attempt by his glare. At which point he will shout an order at all of the guards that are just around him, and they will start getting involved in combat. Let me roll all of these new individuals in real quick. As this new wave of combatants make their way into the field. They actually get to start. Cool. So one will charge forward and make it to Otson before anything else. So that's a 13 to hit Otson, which will not hit. Yep, this is 18. Next one will push past the guard and make his way to Quetzalton. Will attack you with a kind of 14. It's terrible. Back to Noctli.
Okay. What do I have to do to get out of these manacles? Go ahead.
Yep. Athletics check.
I have advantage because it's a strength check.
You just the chain links that hold them together just stretch and snap under your power.
Okay, then Noctli is going to run to here and then hit this guy using a bonus action for his frenzied rage to hit this dude. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. You run in, stood
I'll do
next to your
reckless.
father. Okay, go ahead and attack. That'll definitely hit. 17 points of slashing. Nice. Alright, anything else from you, Noctli?
No.
Okay. The guards will push up against, though this time instead of throwing any sort of, swinging with any sort of weapon, he's actually going to point past the guard and use a longbow or not a longbow, a shortbow, sorry, and shoot at Noctli.
Yes, everyone wants a piece of Noctli. They want to say they shot at Noctli before they die.
Yeah, that's terrible. So he missed. He will attempt a second one. Oh, that's 23 to hit you.
Yes, you can say you hit Noctli.
Okay. You take 7 points of piercing damage, halved down to 4. Followed closely by another guard who makes his way in. This one just pushes past his friend up against the wall and will actually attack Quetzalton in melee. That's an 11 to hit, so that's going to fail. Second one is a 7 to hit, so that's also going to fail. He's dead. He will run and stand there and wait. As will he. He's dead. So, we are back up at the turn. he will actually charge forward past everyone into the middle of combat, right into the heart of everything. Make an attack against Otsin from the other side as he tries to push past. Actually, as he tries to push past, I'm going to let you guys, if you wish, attempt to stop him from pushing past you.
Heck yes.
So go ahead and make a athletics check to try and stop him. Noctley and Quetzalton. And Otsin will do the same thing.
We
Okay.
got him.
You got him. So he's stopped in his tracks there, and I will actually push these guys back. He will make his attack against Otsin with his glaive, which is that'll hit with a 22 to hit, so Otsin takes 9 points of slashing damage.
Did our reaction get taken away by...
No.
Okay.
No. This is just you guys being all fortitude, and as a line, you guys
Hold the
work
wall.
well. Yeah. But you notice that as the attack lands, everything gets quite bright. Just a second while I pull up the wording on blinding smite. So, the target takes an additional 3d8 damage. Which is an extra 7 points of radiant damage. And must make a con save to be blinded. So Otsin has to make a con save. Oh, he's fine. That's easy. He will then continue to attack twice more. Both attacks missing. Terribly. Artir.
Wait. I'm going to use my sentinel trick, because he attacked my
Yeah, go
dad. And I'm going to attempt to disarm him too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that after the first attack, but like stopping him.
Yeah.
That'll what's his AC? Yeah, that'll hit. So he's got to make a strength saving throw. That's failed.
Whoa, boy.
Knock the glaive clean out of his hand.
Cool. That's it.
Okay. That's 16 points of slashing damage. Artir.
Can I occupy this space?
Yeah, you can. Playing fast and loose. This is a flashback.
I will do so then. And then when I get up there, I will... can I tell if either one of these guys have been hit yet?
None of the combatants past you have been hit.
Okay. So then I will attack this guy. Then I will do so twice. And I will do so recklessly to give myself advantage.
Swing with reckless abandon and you cut deep into him the first time, but not the second time. 13 will miss.
And I will end my turn.
Okay. Quetzalton.
Alright, this is gonna be weird. Gonna start by using a bonus action to shield shove the guy in front of me and try to knock him prone. Shield shove. It's from Shield Master.
Yep. So, you... Wait. Shield Mastery don't you have to make an attack first to get that?
It said it was a bonus act. No, you're right. You're right. It's paired with the. It's a bonus action that's paired with the.
I believe the wording on it. Let's double check the wording real quick.
Yep.
If you take the attack action on your turn, you can make a bonus action. So
I was intending
you
to.
can use the bonus action first and then attack. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Give it a try.
I'm
So
sorry.
you shove him.
Yep. How do you do that?
Alright. So let's pull up the instructions on that shield mastery feat. I believe you just make a strength check contested by their acrobatics or strength.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just an athletics check.
So just an athletics check.
Thanks, guys. This is like the one thing that I wasn't so sure about when I started.
You managed to knock him prone.
Oh, thank goodness.
So with one big whack of your shield, he falls to the ground.
So that guy in front of me is prone, and now I am going to take my attack actions on lead guy.
Okay.
So the first thing that I'm going to do is the feint attack, which is my last superiority dice, which will allow me to get advantage on my next attack and add 5 to the damage, which won't be relevant because what I really want to do is make sure that I kick his glaive way the heck away.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack with your foot.
Okay, and that is
Against. So it's a d20 plus your strength plus your proficiency modifier. So it would be the same as any of your melee attacks. To be honest.
okay.
So go ahead and roll any of your melee attack rolls since it's already set.
Minus,
Okay, so 19.
minus 3. No wait, minus 1.
Minus 3.
So 18.
What's the minus 1 for?
Because it's a magical weapon, so we want to take that bonus out.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's true. Yeah. So you boot this glaive with an 18.
Technically, that's an attack with advantage, so it's a 26.
Oh yeah, it's 26. Thank you, Ty. Sorry. The shield shove thing messed me up, didn't it?
So why would you have advantage on him?
Because the
fainting attack. I fainted and made him think I was going left, but I was really going right for his glaive.
Fair enough. So as you went in with the 26, you feel a slight shout of pain as you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from kicking a glaive.
That's okay.
And the glaive goes spiraling off into the distance towards the well.
Good.
Okay.
So that's one
else from you,
attack
Tom?
down. I got 2 more attacks.
Got 2 more attacks.
Just do it normally. Same guy that I kicked the glaive
Okay.
from.
Nice. 18 points of slashing on the first attack, then the second one comes in with another 16. Nice.
And that's it.
Blood drips from the wounds that you've dealt him. Otsin screams in anger at this man. Leave my people. Let my people go. As he will... got some spells. He's actually going to raise a hand at the black guard and banish him. You attempt to send one creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence. Target must succeed on a charisma saving throw. Target fails his charisma saving throw. The target is native to the plane of existence you're on. You banish the target to a harmless demi-plane. While there, the target is incapacitated. The target remains there until the spell ends, at which point the target reappears in the space it left. Okay, cool. So you all see that this well-armored individual who just had his weapon stripped from him, a little bit shocked, turns and looks at Otsin as Otsin just whacks him in the face, and his body just disappears. This guy punched him into the next dimension. True dad situation there. He disappears from view. Otsin then looks and stares at all of those that are coming at us. Come on. But at the end of his turn, you all see, and you guys are getting the upper hand here. You're able to more or less charge. And the 40 additional warriors that you have been making their way through the rest of the city, trying to make their way in, killing all of these many guards that are here. You all see a tall individual, well armed and heavy armor, dragging Otsin's wife out of the room by her hair. His guards have dragged a good number of the women as well into the circle, into this square, two of which were the women that Noctley recently spent a night with, and he holds them all there at knife point. Surrender now, or your women and children all die. You may kill us, but you will lose all of your people.
Is Otsin's wife all of our mother? All of the brother's mother? Brother's mother?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. It is all of your mother's mother.
I know, right?
Otsin just stares incredulously. But you guys know your father. You know that he will do anything for the sake of his people. And as you're expecting him to, you see him drop his battle axe.
No, father, we cannot forgive. We must take the battle to him. We cannot surrender.
After you say this, Ketz also likewise drops his weapon. And then he kind of gives a strange side glance to Artir.
Otsin raises a hand in a menacing kind of manner towards the individual that has his wife in his arms. You can see that his eyes are welling up with both anger and pain. You can have me, but let my wife go, or you will regret it. I will come peacefully, but if you harm so much as a hair on her head, you will regret it. He drops his weapons, all of them, chink, chink, and begins to step forward in front of you all, unless you're going to stop.
I kind of reach for him a little bit and then hesitate and then put my hand back. I'm not sure if I'm ready.
The great Noctley will destroy you. I am not surrendering. Unless father can convince me with the dirty look.
I got a 19 to backhand you.
I hit.
Okay. So you feel the slap as your father crosses his hand crosses your face. I know you could kill 100 of these men, but their lives are worth much less than our women's. You will have your chance of revenge, but son, if it will save the people, we must protect them above all else. Your father steps forward and allows himself to be manacled, but as he does so, he keeps his eyes trained on his wife, your mother, who, as soon as the guard lets go, immediately runs. And she runs just straight out of the city. Any of you brothers are welcome to chase after her.
Zigzag, mother, zigzag.
I think I'm going to go with the idea that Father's right. Gotta live to fight another day. So I need to get out of here so that I can live to guide my people back. And I'll kind of nudge Noctly and let him know what's up before I go do that. And hopefully he'll understand.
Okay. As your mother is running out of the city, she gives you a glance, and you know that's like, come, you gotta go. Noctly, do you follow Quetzalton out of the city?
Yeah, Noctly hasn't dropped his weapon. He's eyeballing the guy that held his mother. It's like a back out, I'm gonna see you again.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
As the two of you start stepping back away, your father obviously distracted, and a minute has gone by. That black guard that had vanished reappears in that same spot, and taking the scene as it is, immediately grabs Artir. Artir, do you resist?
I do not resist. I will follow the chief's example. I am confident that if these are from Zespur, I will be able to free him.
Okay. The guards all gather around, they grab you. They don't chase after the few stragglers that run off because they have the chieftain, and they're happy with that for now. They gather what they have, and Artir, you see that every one of the houses here has been damaged in some way. And in as much as a way of like ripping everyone out of the village, but also to just scare anyone from coming back. Every house is either on fire or the doors and windows have been shattered. People's belongings are thrown across the room, not the room, the city. No care whatsoever for respect of individuals was taken at all during this battle. The only person showing respect at all is Otsin, who quietly will follow the command, the instruction, as it looks like those manacles probably couldn't keep him if he really didn't want to, but he sits there and he follows and he sits quietly. And as you get led up next to him, he whispers to you, "The Great Spirit watches over us. There must be a purpose. There must be a plan. Thank you for being with me at this time." They lead you off towards Zazaspur. Very shortly, they separate you from Otsin, and you are kept in a cell to yourself. A day goes by, 2 days, 3 days. No one comes to visit you, Artir. You are in the cells of Zazaspur. You know that your mother is leading the city, but no one comes. You sit there expecting her to walk through the door with another assignment, with what is the next step of our plan, but nothing happens. A couple more days go by, and finally someone steps into the room and they usher you out of the cell, down the corridor, away from the palace, or where the noble quarter is. You see this large open space with what looks like a platform has been built, and on it are members of this tribe. You don't see Otsin, but you see some of the other women and the children stood there in a line. And as you're stood in this line and being pulled along by these guards, you can hear chanting and shouting. They're bidding on these people. This city that you once called home are now bidding to buy these tribesmen. They're being made slaves. Couple of them fetch decent prices, but the whole ordeal is just a bit of a shock to you until it gets to your time. You're stood on the stage, and you don't realize that they're bidding again towards you. The bidding kind of slows down, and there's not really much of a price coming for you, Artir, until the guardsman grabs your neck and pulls your lips up so everyone can see your fangs bared out. All of a sudden, a couple more shouts come out. This freak, this strange individual, this fanged creature with the reptilian eyes. You're now a commodity, but you sit there patiently. There must be a plan. My mother will come, give me the next assignment. The individual that finally won the bid and took you from the stand gathered what few belongings you had, which was just a few rag pieces of cloth that you were wearing, and led you out of Zazaspur immediately. That day, you were taken from the town off somewhere far distant, a new land far to the north, never seeing the tribesmen again, as you enter your life of slavery. We end tonight's session at that point as Artir heads on to the new world in his new position. Unknown what will happen to his family or whatever became of Otsin. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this backstory. We will be back next week with our normal regular story, our normal regular session, as we rejoin our heroes. The last thing they did was they used the cubic gate to teleport back into Ironslag. Loic's mind intent on getting as close to the spot that they left as possible. And that is where we will pick up next week. Thanks for being with us. If you want to, you can find us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. I'm at Teo the DM. I'm more than happy to receive your feedback, talk to you, tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.